Hey, good morning. So today I want to talk about using earthly equipment to fight spiritual battles. Now, I want to start off with a question. What are some earthly things that you face that you should have taken to God for spiritual advice? Now, let that resonate with you because I had to ask myself the exact same question. What I mean by that is we often go through things here on earth that we aren't willing to take to God because we don't think that we need His spiritual guidance. However, most of the time, that's exactly where we need to be. I'm going to talk to you guys today about 3 key points that on earth are earthly battles that we may face each and every day. However, you should be willing and able to take these to God at any given moment in order to gain the spiritual equipment, tools, and knowledge in order to get over these things. The first one I want to talk about is going to be loneliness. Now, loneliness is one of those things that come in honestly a really big disguise. You don't honestly feel like you're lonely until you're already sitting in your mess and you're by yourself. Loneliness can form itself in a way where you could honestly start to hate any and everything around you and yourself because you feel the lack of someone else's being present. And oftentimes, we try to fill the void of loneliness with earthly things, earthly tools, like men or women, television, buying things, going out, shopping, hanging with friends. But deep down inside, the true loneliness and the true void is still going to be there at the end of the day. We need to start to put in place spiritual things in order to get us out of the funk. So if you're feeling lonely, don't replace it with things that are only temporary. Reach out, pray, talk to God, get in a small group, get with somebody who are able to pull you out of your mess and help you along the way. But you have to have on the appropriate equipment in order for it to even manifest into what it is that you want. But we get so caught up in just wanting to make sure that we feel the void in that moment, not realizing that this feeling is still going to happen yet again because we didn't actually solve the problem in the first place. So that leads me into my second point. The second point I want to talk to you guys about is anxiety. Anxiety is one of those things that make you feel anxious, as if you need to hurry up and move and do things. And honestly, we act on those emotions. We move really quickly, we make mistakes, and we jump ship. And those things don't help anxiety. They may feel good in the moment. However, the problem is still going to be there. And honestly, you've probably made it 10 times worse because you moved too quickly. Now you've caused chaos down the line that you didn't even know you were going to cause. Anxiety is one of those things that make you act out of character as well as act in uncertainty. And everybody know God is not a God of confusion. And honestly, it leaves you in a place of confusion because you've jumped too fast and you don't know the outcome of your actions that you just made. So in order to make anxiety one of those things that goes away and that you can actually cope with and move forward in life, you also have to then be patient. Pray for patience. Be calm. Be steady. Be understanding. Be open-minded to new things. And don't be so quick to get nervous and have the trembles in order for you to hurry up and move, because sometimes being still is the best thing for you to do. Which then brings me into my third point that I want to talk about, which is anger. Now, anger is one of those things that people here on earth use to just lash out. They fight. They want to make sure that whatever it is that they're going through is heard, it's felt. But anger is one of those things that makes you bitter. It builds up inside you something you don't even want to portray to the world, but by the time you realize it, it's a little too late. Being angry is one of those things that make you do things that you typically wouldn't do or want to do, but because you don't have control over who you are and what you're trying to manifest as a person, you allow the enemy to use you in a way that he wants to use you rather than in the way that you should be used by God. And what I want to talk to you guys about is just looking at all of these things. They manifest themselves here on earth as, oh, that person's just lonely. Oh, that person just has anxiety. Oh, they're just an angry person. And that may be true. But deep down inside, it's something going on internally. It's something spiritually that you're facing that you need to go through, but you need to go through it with spiritual equipment. You got to go through it in prayer. You have to go through it with positivity. You have to go through it in love. You have to go through it in patience, because grabbing a weapon or fighting or cursing, yelling, leaving, lashing out, acting irrational isn't going to fix anything. This goes back into, if you've ever realized, like, wow, how come every single year I am faced with the same exact struggle that I was the previous year? And honestly, it's because you didn't actually handle that. You didn't go to war the correct way. You lost that war last year because you didn't focus on what it was that you truthfully needed to fix. And you did not focus on it with the spiritual equipment that you needed to have. You went through that battle and you were beaten and torn down, and you thought that just because you crawled out of that situation okay, that it was a success. But God doesn't want okay. He wants you to be at your greatest at all times. So he puts you through another situation, not exactly the same, but something similar, to see how you're going to react in order for you to become a better person. We got to stop trying to fight spiritual battles with earthly equipment, because it's only a temporary fix. It's like putting a Band-Aid on something that needed stitches. So hopefully this message got across to you guys well. Also, as mentioned, if there's anything that you'd like for me to touch base on, please let me know, DM me. Also, if you'd like to do a live with me soon, let me know as well. And do not forget to follow my Instagram page at For Your Ears Only. And I'll also be starting my YouTube page coming up. I'll see you soon.